right, hey Libby and whoever else is watching this, we're going to go through 14 at least to start with, and 15, the graphing ones, on 7-3 homework, and here it is. All right, so,
it is 4 pi, because it's tangent.
all right, let's talk about what's happening here. What's the 2 doing? How does the 2 change it? It stretches it. It's vertical stretch, or it changes the amplitude, yeah? Okay, the amplitude is 2. This guy right here is the B value, but what's B?
It's pi over 8.
Yeah. But what is B? Like, what is this number right here? If it's x over 4, what's that number? What? 1/4, right? So the B value is 1/4. That tells me that the period is pi over B, right? And pi over 1/4, you flip it, right? You flip it to the top. Okay, 1/4 flipped is 4 over 1. What's 4 over 1 times pi?
4 pi.
4 pi. So I'm making it wider or narrower?
You're right.
Wider. I'm making it way wider. All right, normally,
4 times what?
normally the vertical asymptotes for tangent are at negative pi over 2 and positive pi over 2. Got it? To make him pi units wide. But that's not what he is now. He is 4 pi units wide. So where does he have to go from? The same distance on this side and the same distance on this side to make a total of 4 pi.
2 pi.
2 pi, right? Negative 2 pi to positive 2 pi. Does that make sense? He's split evenly over top of 0, right? So that's what he'll look like. All right, now, the only other thing that we have to address is he's going to go through 0, and here at this halfway point, which would be at 1 pi, and at negative 1 pi, he will be at where?
1. Isn't like up 1?
But he's up. The amplitude is now 2, so he's up at 2. So he's going to be over here rather than here, right? Okay? And then he's going to be at negative 2 also. So that's changing him, and he's going to make him like a little bit like taller, I guess. We're making him wide, but we're making him tall at the same time. So we're just making him larger in general. Okay? Do you see how all that works? Okay? All right, just make your markings first. Drawing it should be the absolute last thing. Got it? Okay? All right, for sign? Okay. How many things are happening to this sign, to this graph? Technically 3. There's a minus here, right? Okay, this negative is doing something, the 3 is doing something, and then this is doing something. All right, the negative is going to flip him. Boys, are you listening? Okay. 3 is going to change the amplitude, so he's going to be taller. And this guy tells me what the B value is. What's B? 1/3. Okay, that tells me the period, right? Do you take 2 pi and divide by 1/3, or just 1 pi divided by 1/3? Sine normally is 2 pi, so we're going to take 2 pi divided by 1/3, which means we're going to flip it.
6 pi.
Times 3 over 1. So, 6 pi is for sine. All right. All right, what would you like to label first?
6 pi.
The 6 pi. So we're going from 0 all the way to 6 pi here, okay? And I'm going to make my markings in the middle. So this middle guy would be 3 pi, okay? And then I'm going to put a tick mark here and a tick mark here. This would be like 1.5 pi, right? Halfway between 0 and 3 is 1.5, which would be 3 pi over 2. This would be 4.5 pi, which is, right? 4.5 pi. That would be 9 pi over 2. You don't have to label those, but whatever if you want to. Okay, there they are. All right, now, amplitude now is 3. 1, 2, 3. So we're going up to 3 and down to negative 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, does sine start in the middle, or does he start up high? He starts in the middle. Okay, but he's going to go down first. He goes down here, back to the middle, up to 3, and back down here. And this is what he looks like. That's sine. Okay? Are we getting better at this?
Yeah.
Ish? Okay? Make all your markings and then do your dots and then you're good to go. Like, it's not terrible hard to figure out. If you don't know how to do this and you're still struggling just a little bit, it's going to be that much harder when we go to 9-4 because there's one little bit of 9-4 that's kind of difficult. When we start moving him left and right, it gets to be a little hairy. Okay? That's going to be what we're doing on Thursday. Yep. Okay? Moving him left and right is going to be a little bit hairy.
Do you have the paper for that?
Yes, I do. I'll give it to you. Okay? And is it you? It's you and Luke, right?
Yeah.
What?
And is that it? Oh, and Libby. Libby, come get the paper for 9-4 from me. All right.
Do you have that right now?
I do. I'll go grab it here in a second. Okay, remind me here in a second when I get off this table. All right. What else would you like to do? Keep going? 16?
Yeah.
Okay, 16. Write an equation for a sine function. Ah. for a sine function with the given information. All right, they want the amplitude to be 2. I know that that goes in front. That's the easy part. Sine. Okay? All right, now here's the tricky part. They want the period to be 4. Now, normally the period has a pi in it, which, you know, whatever, is going to be kind of weird. Okay, but that number's not, if 4 isn't the number that goes in here, right? Like, that's not 4. It's like what is this number right here for B? We have to figure out what this number is, okay? So in order to find out the period, what do we do? What do we do to find period?
Pi over
2 pi over B, okay? But I know that that has to be equal to how much? That has to be equal to 4, right? I just want that equal to 4. Not 4 pi, just 4, right?
there is a pi. There is a pi.
There's a pi on the...
Yeah.
James!
There's
Okay, you're right. 4 pi. James?
Yeah.
There's also another one right here. All right, 4 pi. Okay, all right, here we go. So 4 pi here. All right, so I'm working with this right here. How do I figure out what B is? If I'm trying to solve for this B on the bottom here, I can multiply the B to the other side, right? So 2 pi equals 4 pi B, but then that means I divide by 4 pi, okay? What is 2 pi divided by 4 pi? This is, the pi's go away, and so it's 2 over 4, which is 1/2, right? 1/2 is your B, so that means 1/2 goes here, right? That's what my equation looks like. Now, if you put this as 2 sine of x over 2, that's the same thing, right? That will work as well. Okay, does that make sense? So you're kind of working backwards a little bit, okay? All right, should we keep going and doing the next one? Okay, all right, so I know if my amplitude's 1/3, that makes it nice. Y equals, that just goes here. Okay, you boys need to be quiet. Shh. I have to figure out what this B value is. Okay, so I'm working backwards. I know that to find period, you do 2 pi divided by B, and I know that that needs to be pi over 2. How do you do this when you have this mess? Have we got any shortcuts? I'm going to cross multiply.
I just plugged in.
I think that sounds good. Let's cross multiply. 2 pi times 2 is 4 pi. What's B times pi? Pi B, right? Then how do I get B by itself? Divide by pi, so what's B? B is 4, so 4 goes here. Do you see how we did that? When you got some ugly fractions, just cross multiply, sure.
I just plugged
Okay.
in numbers
Until it became that, okay? All right, amplitude is 6, so 6 goes here. Sine of, we got to figure out what the B value is, and I know that the period has to be pi. So 2 pi divided by B has to come out to be pi. Okay, what would you like to do there? Did you know that if the B is on the bottom here, you can just flip those two? We've done that before when we were doing the SOHCAHTOA stuff, right? Okay, so 2 pi divided by pi gives you what B is, right? So B is 2, and 2 goes here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, good? Happy with that? All right, this one. 19 and 20 are actually very similar to what we did up here, except they don't list it out for you. Okay? So, amplitude and period. All right, we have a sine function. Okay, what's the amplitude according to this graph? 2. What's the period according to this graph? Pi over 2. Now we do the same thing as what we just did, right?
Yeah.
So y equals 2 sine. I have to figure out what the b is. B goes here. Okay, we already did.
Yeah.
If it's pi over 2, the value is 4. Okay, assuming we did it right up above. So there it is. Okay. All right, let's do this other one. This one is maybe a little trickier. This one is amplitude. Amplitude, period, but also you're saying star, he needs a negative, right? Because he's going down first, okay? Amplitude is 3, period is 2 pi over 3. So we have y equals -3 sine. I have to figure out what this number is in front of the x, right? Okay, so I know that 2 pi over b has to come out to be 2 pi over 3. What's b have to be? 3, right? Does that make sense? Like, this is 2 pi, this is 2 pi, this is, b has to be 3, right? You see how that works? So 3 goes there. You could cross multiply and divide or solve it or whatever, but you're going to get 3 as the answer, right? There's what he looks like. Okay? Happy with that? To 14. 14. There's 14. Okay, this is 7-3. Got it?
Yeah, I think
7-3.
I don't.
Good, good.
Sometimes.
7-3. All right, Libby, I'm gonna stop this while and start a new video for our whiteboards. Okay?